Hello everybody, Ignatius L. Justin CPA here with another exciting video for you. So today we are talking about extension deadlines. Okay, so the extension deadline for personal taxes is October 16th of 2022. And so we're going to talk about what happens if you miss that deadline. We'll also touch on the S Corp and partnership tax deadline extension that was on September 15th, which was last month. And we're going to talk about what happens if you miss those. So go ahead and stay tuned. We're going to be right back in a second, and we'll talk about some of the options you can take to deal with missing those potential deadlines. So stay tuned. Be right back. All right, everybody, and we're back. So thanks for tuning in today to the Ignite Business Talks podcast, and thanks for tuning in. Great information today on tax extensions that are due on October 16th. So usually it's October 15th, but because that falls on a Sunday, you have until that Monday, which is October 16th, to file your extended personal tax return. So what we're going to talk about today is what to do if you're not going to be able to get it done for whatever reason, okay? So basically, if you don't get it done by that date, it is considered late. There's no additional extensions that you can get unless you're a part of some sort of disaster area somewhere in the country where they extended the deadline for the extensions even further for you. But generally speaking, you're gonna have to either get it done by that date or be subject to a late file penalty, okay? Now the late file penalty is only if you actually owe a balance on the return that was not paid by April 15th, essentially. So if you owe a balance on the return, once you file the return, then that is considered essentially late. And so the late file penalty is roughly 5% per month, up to a maximum of 25%. So basically, after 5 months, you've essentially maxed out on the late file penalty, and then you start tacking on any interest and penalties from late payments if you still owe the money and you haven't made the payment. Okay, so the late file penalty is basically based off the amount that you owe on the return. Again, 5% per month that it's late. And so the important thing is, if you do miss the deadline of October 16th, to get it done as soon as possible after that date, so that you only have 1 month of a late penalty. And hopefully you don't owe a whole lot of money. If you only owe a little bit of money on your taxes, tax return, then it's not really as big of a deal to be super late versus owing a ton of money and being 5 months late. That can add up real quick, especially if it's like $100,000 and you got a 25% penalty. That's 25 grand. And so yeah, that can definitely sting to add on top of that tax bill. And unfortunately, you cannot deduct tax payments that are for penalties. And so something really important that you have to kind of keep in mind and pay attention to. Okay, so that's what you do if you are late filing your personal taxes. Now I told you, so one of the things you can, now in terms of the business taxes that were due back on September 15th for S Corps and partnerships, if you didn't get those done, the penalty is $220 per partner or per shareholder per month that it is not filed on time, with a maximum penalty of 12 months, okay? So it caps out at 12 months of being late. They stop charging penalties on not filing that return. So again, they're important to just get it done as soon as possible so that you don't keep racking up those penalties for not filing that S Corp or partnership return by the due date, okay? Now, in terms of payments, so if you have a payment due on your personal taxes that wasn't paid by April 15th, you are racking up penalties and interest on those payments the longer that it goes without being paid. So definitely encourage you to get those paid as soon as possible. The current rate of the two combined, I think is somewhere in the 13 to 14% range roughly is what it equates to in terms of an annual interest and penalty rate that you're paying on the amount that you owe. So for example, let's say you owe $100,000. you'd have, somewhere in the neighborhood of $13,000 to $14,000 that you would owe on top of that each year that it goes unpaid, basically. So obviously the most important thing is when it comes to filing tax documents with the IRS and even your state, the most important thing is to respond, to be responsive to them, and to kind of just let them know what's going on and go from there, essentially. So thanks for tuning in today. Just a real quick short video on what to expect and what to do if you are late filing your personal taxes or your business taxes, and the importance of trying to get those done or caught up at least as soon as possible. So thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody enjoyed, and we'll be back with more cool stuff in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your people in your community, and also your friends and family and all that good stuff. So, all right, talk to you later. Peace.